I'm Charles McCain. I'm going to review a book right now that actually has two titles. The first title it was published under in 1955 was called Atlantis, A Story of a German Surface Raider. And it is by far the best book written about these rather unknown ships. And what these ships were merchant ships that were armed, and the guns were hidden most cleverly either on deck crates or behind parts of the hull that could just drop in a moment's notice. And what they would do is disguise themselves as a neutral ship. And they creep up on British ships usually, and if they got close enough, then bang, they had to surrender. Of course, the Germans, who have this bizarre part in World War II, this dichotomy in World War II. Well, on one hand, they're murdering all sorts of people, including millions of people who were Jewish, millions of people who were Soviets, Polish, really anybody they didn't like. The German Navy at the same time, abided by these weird international rules of law. One of them, which is if you are flying false colors, which is where the phrase of the expression comes from, as long as you run up your true flag before you open fire, you have satisfied international law. And they are very specific about doing that. And it's sort of amusing to read about it, because here they're just about to sink a ship, and bang, the first thing they do is raise their flag. So it was written by the adjutant of the captain on board, and then it was republished as Phantom Raider, which is probably the title you would buy it under now. But it's the same book, quite worth reading, written by a man who was there. A fascinating capture of what it was like to serve on one of these ships, and to be in the middle of nowhere with no help available, completely on your own. I found this quite useful in my research for a chapter in my book. Certainly give it 5 stars. Phantom Raider, quite worth reading.